Hey everybody, welcome back. It's your favorite local real estate agent, Mike Smutz here with Lehigh Valley Living. Today, I have a very special guest, Nick Christy with Annie Mac. We're going to be talking about a very cool program that he has. So real quick, Nick, introduce yourself. Tell them why you're somebody important to listen to.
My name is Nick Christy, a branch manager here with Annie Mac in the Lehigh Valley. And I've been in the industry for 6 years. I built my book of business pretty rapidly to the point of being able to have my own team. And now we have a program that we're going to talk about today that very few people have, if any, other mortgage companies to offer.
How did you find yourself in the business? Like, how did you end up at Annie Mac in specific?
So my brother Jamie, he worked for a title company. He actually owns his own title company now. But when he worked there, took a long time to get to a good place in life. And when I was just starting to get to a good place, he offered me a job in the title field. And then as I was in there, they said, if you bring in any deals while you're doing all this not fun stuff, we'll give you some commission. I found out what commission was, and I found out that there's bigger commission in lending and obviously real estate. So made
Yeah.
the jump.
And then you were hooked.
Oh, it's over. It was absolutely over.
So the program we're going to be talking about is Cash the Keys. It's an extremely powerful program. If you want to give the quick 30-second elevator pitch on that, then we can talk about specific situations, stories, and that. So talk about
Yeah.
Cash the Keys, how that's helping buyers, and it's also helping people that have a home to sell where they can't necessarily afford two mortgages at the same time.
Yeah. So that's the punchline is it's removing the home sale contingencies from the buyer's offers, and it's putting a lot of people at ease when you're transitioning from owning one home to another home. There's a lot of stress in that, and the punchline is that we can use this program to remove your home sale contingency.
Yeah, and getting a home accepted with a home sale contingency, especially in the market we're in currently, is very difficult. Maybe in the past couple of years, it was, well, not even the past couple of years, even before the past couple of years with the pandemic thing, it was doable. Now it's next to impossible. Still possible, but next to impossible. So that's where your
Well,
program kind of steps in.
yeah, but even if you get your offer accepted, right? Like then we have a problem with you need to find a buyer for your home within probably 30 days, where the seller's going to start getting antsy
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot close on your new home without selling that home. So that's where it's like alleviate that stress. You don't need to do it. You can use this for conventional financing or VA financing. And yeah, it's a no brainer because homes aren't selling as quickly. So you get in a situation that you can't sell your house fast enough. You're going to lose your new house. With this program, you don't lose the new house.
Yeah, we've used this program, and I always like to keep it in my back pocket. I mean, not with just this program. You're a great lender all around. I've had
No.
personal experience with you, and I could support you in the fact that you're a good lender just normally. But with this program, it really does help people in that situation. Say you're somebody that owns a house, you want to downsize, but you can't get approved for a mortgage until you sell that house. How does that process look like kind of from start to finish, so they
Yeah.
can kind of get an idea of what it is we're even talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So the first step is to fill out an application like you would do for a normal mortgage approval. From there, we submit you through underwriting, which will take a couple days, and we also do an evaluation of your current home, because your current home, you could be selling your current home from any state in the country, but it does have to be a single family or a condo, but it can't be a multi unit. It
So
has
you
to be
couldn't
under
use
10
this
acres
as like an for an investment property. This has to be a primary residence
or a second home.
or a second home. Okay.
Or a second home. And it can't be you can't be an FHA finance buyer. So we have to do the pre-approval, make sure you can get approved for conventional. Because everyone asks, like, what are the other, as long as you can get approved for conventional and there is a credit score, a 660. And I mean, but for conventional, you almost need a 660 these days to get the approval. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we get lucky at 640 or something. But so there really is, if you qualify for a conventional loan and you have enough equity in your home, which you do have to have 20% equity in your home. So anyone that's bought in the last 1 year earlier.
Yeah.
We've never had an issue with equity on any of the deals. I've done 40 of these and we've never had that issue.
Yeah.
So we look at your home, we do the value on your home. So let's say the value on your home is 300,000 that you're going to sell. You owe 200,000, right? And let's take out 6% for realtor fees, because that's what we assume that you'll have to pay when you sell your house. So we get this, 350 minus 200 for your mortgage minus whatever the realtor fees are. We come up with a number that we think that you'll have after you do sell the home. So let's say it's 100 grand left over. We use that for the approval on the new house, even before you sell your current home. So the reason we can do this is because Cash to Keys actually buys the new home for you. So there's two contracts. One will be read from the seller to Cash to Keys, and the next will be the Cash to Keys to you. This is our way of eliminating that home sale contingency. And it's a really great product.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's helped a lot of people in tough situations. So once you get approved, you buy the house. It's not the buyer buying the house, technically, right?
Yeah.
It looks almost like I think the phenomenal thing about it, you could use Cash to Keys even if you don't have a house to sell. It looks like cash. I mean,
It is cash. The buy now, sell later version, the one we're really talking about to remove that home sale, they're buying Cash to Keys is buying it cash. And then you're taking mortgage out on it once you sell your house. So yeah, your offers are even that much stronger.
Yeah. So you find the house, they buy it. What's it look like in that process where you have two houses now? You close on the first house. Do they get to move in? What is there any extra fees? Kind of walk us through that.
Yep. Okay. So we do not charge any points to use this program, but there are definitely an extra fee for rent, right? So rent's going to be the biggest one. When we buy the house for you, depending on how long it takes you to sell your home, will depend on how much rent you would owe once you buy it back from Cash to Keys. So let's say we close on the purchase. Cash to Keys buys the new house for you on March 1st. And it takes you 2 months from then to sell your home. So you officially don't buy the new house for 2 months. You would owe 2 months of rent at closing when you buy it back from Cash to Keys. And you can move into it right away. You'll move into it the day we buy it. Yeah. And then you'll owe rent at the end, but you won't be carrying both rent and your current mortgage at the same time.
Yeah, you're not gonna get double charged. I think that's the beauty of it, is people are always worried, well, I can't afford two mortgages. You're not going to, the extra fees. I mean, people hear that. And the reason I bring it up is because they're most definitely going to have that question, but at the end of it, it actually works out better for you, because you got to imagine, let's say you did a home sale contingency, you have to sell your house quick. You're more than likely going to accept an offer that's much less than that. So you're going to make less on that home, which means you're going to make less as a whole into your pocket at the end.
And your offer on the new house with the home sale contingency is probably going to be higher than you want to do with the cash offer.
Yes. Right? It gives you way more tools in the toolbox.
It's a great point. Seriously, great point.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I've had personal experience with it. And whenever I hear of people in this situation, you're the first person I think of. You need to talk to me.
Your home sale contingency that you should be thinking about. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's a phenomenal program that I don't think anyone else is doing. I can't think of a single person, other company that's done it.
All right, so obviously I'm from Lehigh Valley. It's where I do a majority of my business, but I'm also licensed in Jersey and South Carolina and North Carolina. But South Carolina, they had this program called Ribbon that really never took off in Pennsylvania. Okay. Do you know how much they charge in points? In points, they just shut down a month ago because it was just no one would use it because it was really terrible. They were charging 3 points, which means 3% of the new loan amount. So let's say you're buying a $350,000 house and putting a $50,000 down payment. It's a $300,000 mortgage. That's $9,000 in fees that they're charging just to use what Cash to Keys is giving you for nothing, because it's our internal in-house program.
So they were charging you 3 points to doing pretty much exactly what you guys are doing for
Exactly.
nothing. So I mean,
because they were their own entity. They were not associated with the mortgage company in any way, so you would be able to use it with any mortgage company. But the way their business model was to make money off that. Our business model is to be here doing podcasts with Mike Smutz and hopefully spreading the word a little bit more and making money off the mortgages.
I mean, not just for buyers. This is also great for realtors that have. I mean, we had a story where I was the listing agent on one where I got an offer. I had multiple offers, and the best one, price and terms wise, had one hiccup, and it was a home sale contingency. So I was actually able to use this program for that to make that deal better.
Yep.
I mean, it's so useful in so many ways, both for buyers and sellers. So who do you see getting the most benefit out of this program, Nick?
Well, I mean, it really is. It's not just a buyer thing, like you've alluded to. It's really first of all, for the agents to, if you're listening to this, to have something to go into your listing appointments like Mike does, and have something unique that no other realtor has, because they don't have the relationship with me or my team like Mike does. So first of all, realtors benefit from it. That is such a unique tool. And then, as a seller / buyer, you're going to need either a home sale contingency or cash to keys in most cases, unless you can qualify for the new home because you have the money and the debt to income ratio is good. And then that's fine. You don't need cash to keys, genuinely.
Yeah.
But besides that, anyone with a home sale contingency benefits from this 100%.
Well, I would just take it a step further and say if you're gonna have a home sale contingency, you almost need it. I mean, there's lots of people doing lease backs, home sale contingencies, suitable housing, all this stuff, and it's a headache. I mean, before this program, I'd have people come up to me and go, "How do I sell a house and buy a house at the same time?" And I'd have to pull all this type of magic, which would end up costing them money and headache, where like they'd have to close on both houses on the same day, which is not only hard on the real estate agent, which is our job to do that kind of thing, but it's hard on the families too.
Yeah, you make a really good point. That you made me think about. We just closed one a couple months ago that this guy just refused. He was not going to move the same day. This guy had a very unique car collection in his garage, and he needed time. He wanted to close on that new house, slowly move his stuff over.
Yeah.
And it's not always for just to win the deal. Sometimes it's for peace of mind of like, all right, let's get in the new house, take a month to move it in, and then, sell the current home.
That's a great point, especially if you have kids, you have a lot to move. Yeah. You get time to move into that new home. I think a hidden benefit of this is it is kind of hard to sell residential resale homes while people are living in the house. It's definitely possible, but every time somebody wants to show it, you have to keep it clean. Every time somebody has to show it, you have to grab the dogs, you got the kids, get out of the house. I mean, it helps with that as well. So there's a lot of hidden factors besides just the money too.
Can you come work for me, please? You can sell cash keys better than me. I mean, that I do. It's genuinely such a good point. Not having that, being able to unclutter a cluttered space because you've owned it for 20 years, right? And get out of it, move it out, stage it properly to get top dollar. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you get to work with that smiley redhead over there.
I am my man. Yeah. Once again, very good points. Very, very, very good points.
Okay. So I think that really hits the nail on the head with Cash the Keys, Nick. And if anybody wants to reach out to you, talk more, I mean, we threw a lot of topic or numbers out there, and I'm sure people are running through those numbers in their head. If anybody wanted to reach out, ask any specific questions, or have you look at their situation so they don't have to think about it themselves, how do they reach out to you and get a hold of it?
It's going to be my cell phone. My cell phone's going to be the best course. You can always text or call me. So my number, I can say that on here.
Yeah.
There we go. It's 484-522-1302. Anyone can just text me and be like, "Hey, I heard you on that awesome podcast," and
Yeah. Well, mention
that's
my name.
yeah, Matt, mention Mike's name, but yeah, no, I work. What do I work? 7 days a week.
Dude,
I
he's always
Christmas,
there.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm telling you, if you text me, I will not answer. That's it. That's the only 2 days.
Are you watching football or?
All right. Yeah, of course I am. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I will. Well, I'll say one more thing and I'll let it run. Nick is really always there. I remember one time I had a buyer and they came to me with one of those online lenders. I remember we had this was during 2021. There were multiple offers were common. You needed an edge. Cash to Keys was still new. And I remember going, they have 6 offers already. If we're going to win, we need a leg up. And I remember calling you going, hey, man, short notice, how quickly can you get me a pre-approval? And you answered that day. I think it was like a Sunday at like 6 p.m. I called you. And you got, by 24 hours, we had a cash to keys approval. We won that offer.
I love it. I love to hear about myself. Good.
I mean, dude, you crushed it. We won that deal. That was the first time we worked together. Like I had to, and you left a good impression on me.
That's good.
I mean, you turned that around. What other lender are you going to call at 6 p.m. on a Sunday who's going to drop whatever they're doing? And
you ever think about you ever think when you hear stuff like that and you go, man, I like the previous me. I like that me 6 months ago. I'm glad I was him in that moment.
That's the reason, because you were relatively new. Well, not in the mortgage world, but relatively new around the office. Like you've been working with Desiree's team, but I hadn't heard of you, and then like that happened, and that was one of the one source things. If it adds any context,
and
I was like, how are we gonna win this? I mean, they're like, we're absolutely no way going to accept an online lender, and I said, who could I call that's gonna give us a leg up? And they were a conventional buyer, but it was like, there was cash offers on the table. So I'm like, this is the only way you're going to win.
We won that over cash offers. I remember that.
We won that over cash.
We were cash, and you gave better terms.
Yeah. Well, this was 2021 when things were crazy. I think we ended that with 10 offers. There was 10 offers. Some were cash, waiving inspections, and we came up because, well, the buyer had a great agent and a great lender.
Yeah, no, I tell people, Mike uses his resources. It's the biggest compliment in the world. If you do that, like I try to preach to my loan officers, people are going to want to work with you because you try to get things done. And that's it.
I told that story just as a testament to your response rate and your work ethic, really.
I appreciate it.
Call, text him if you have any questions. I mean, mortgage questions in general. It doesn't even have to be about cash to keys. I'm going to put it down in the show notes near my number. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Any closing thoughts, Nick?
Be nice to other people.
Be nice to other people. And I always end this with, if somebody's first time on, since this is Lehigh Valley Living, you grew up in Lehigh Valley. What is your favorite part about living in the Lehigh Valley, and what's something like an uncovered gem? What's your favorite thing?
Yakos?
Yakos.
You can't get Yakos anywhere else.
No, you can't. Yakos.
Yeah, I love Yakos so much. I know maybe that's your favorite hidden gems, but it is truly amazing. And let's see, what else? I mean, we have Dorney Park too, which is really cool. You didn't even know how cool it was because you grew up here, and then you get older and be like, oh, other people don't just have this huge amusement park 10 minutes from their house.
What's the closest thing? Like Six Flags? Like what's the closest
from
thing
us besides that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you could be in another. We have a condo in South Carolina. There is no entertainment value like that.
Yeah,
in South Carolina is a state. So yeah, it's very Lehigh Valley has that. It's cool.
So get some Yakos, go to Dorney Park. that's the benefit of living in Lehigh Valley. All right. Yeah. Everybody's gonna move here now. They're like all the New York people are coming now. All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and reach out if you have any questions at all.
Thanks
But
again, Mike.
you're welcome. Thank you for being on.